Hey there, it's Sally Baker from Balanced Achievers. Thanks so much for joining today. At Balanced Achievers, what we do is help people to be as productive and healthy as they possibly can so that they can have a really great work-life balance and be really productive in both their work life as well as their home life. Now, today I wanted to give you a little bit of a strategy around time management, which is so important because often we feel so pulled in different directions. But if you can get some really good strategies in place to be able to get rid of that overwhelm and the stress of having the longest to-do list ever that just keeps growing, then it will make you feel more in control of your day and your life overall. So I have 3 steps that I get people to follow. The first one is something that I call touch it only once. So, what I encourage people to do is when they get emails that come through, which I would suggest not checking every couple of minutes, but only a couple of times a day, is if there is something in there that is an appointment, a meeting, a project that has a deadline, go ahead and immediately put that into the calendar so that it's done. You can clear your inbox, you can clear your mind of whatever it is that you need to do ahead of the game. Within this first step, what I'd also encourage you to do, if there is something that isn't necessarily like a specific date to it, is to add this onto your to-do list. So if there is a big project that you need to be working on, or if there's something that you just need to do as a result of that email or phone call, or just something that you think of that you know you need to do. So, for example, you know you need to book a dentist appointment for the kids, then pop that on your to-do list. Now, the next step here is to take it further than just having a to-do list, because I'm sure if you're anything like me in the past, my to-do list was as long as my arm, and no matter how much I felt like I was sort of treading through the to-do list on a daily basis, it wasn't getting any shorter and it was becoming really overwhelming and quite anxiety provoking every morning when I would look at it. So when you do have your to-do list, what you want to do with that is, make sure that everything that you're thinking of up here does go on your to-do list every day. I like to do what I call a brain dump, usually either first thing in the morning or last thing at night before you go to bed is also a great time to do it. Gets all those thoughts out of your head and onto paper, which has been shown to actually help you sleep better. So once you've got everything from your to-do list, what you then want to do is break it down into a couple of different categories. So the first category is that if it takes less than 2 minutes for you to action what is on that to-do list, just do it. Do it immediately. Block off a little bit of time in the morning or the evening when you are going through your to-do list in this particular way, and put aside a little bit of time to complete those very, very quick tasks. Such a nice win for you. You get a nice little bit of dopamine hit because you can really tick off those goals that you've achieved. Now, what you'll also find is on your to-do list, you'll have some bigger goals or bigger projects that you might have on there. And often we think, oh, we'll just leave it on the to-do list and we'll get it done. But it can take weeks or months to sometimes get these projects done. So they feel really overwhelming when they're on the to-do list. So what you want to do is actually break these down into smaller tasks. So make sure you're stepping every single part of the process that you're going to have to go through along the way in the journey to being able to tick off that task, and really sort of nutting it down into those small little incremental steps that you'll need to be taking. So this has some great benefits in the fact that it will show you how long it's actually going to take you to complete that task or project. And it also will mean that it's more manageable in your day-to-day activities. So that's step number 2, really managing your to-do list. Now, step number 3 is then making sure that you're actually actioning all of those tasks that you have broken down from your to-do list so that you can put them into your day. So we spoke about in part number 1 that you've already in your calendar put in things like your meetings, your appointments, non-negotiables that you have to turn up for at a certain time. This now is where you are filling those gaps with the tasks that are manageable in quite small chunks for you to do throughout the day. And this is where it's great for that dopamine hit where you're going to actually be ticking off everything that you've done. You're going to feel so much more productive and so much more in control if you can actually follow these simple steps each day. And it means that that to-do list actually becomes something that is much smaller and more manageable. And of course, if you don't get everything done in a day, because things do pop up, we get these emergency things that we need to manage in there as well. That's fine. We can just push that to the next day as well. But that is a great way to really look at time management and optimize your productivity. I hope that was really helpful. If you would like any more information about how Balanced Achievers can help you or your team to improve overall productivity and well-being, please drop it in the comment and I will get back to you shortly. Thanks, guys.